My ex-wife dropped back into my life after 6 years. My ex and I met in college and were madly in love all 4 years in school. Got married after graduation in 2010. In 2013 I caught her in a year-plus affair with a coworker. I was crushed. She said they loved each other, soulmates, didn't mean to hurt anyone, blah blah blah. We divorced only 3 months later. I was crushed. Worst time in my life. I mourned for over a year. I heard they got married. One day I decided I was tired of being sad, so I completely let go of her in my heart, got off my BTT and truly moved on. I'm a programmer by profession and decided to take a pre-sales solutions consultant gig with one of the biggest software companies on the planet. That job has been amazing. I've traveled the entire world, every continent and all the major cities. Life has been a great adventure. I never did date seriously or remarry. I'm not opposed to casual dating and have dated beautiful women all over the globe. After my experience with marriage, I decided that wasn't my path and have been happy. Sometimes lonely, especially during holidays, but overall happy. I had decided enough traveling for a while, so I switched roles and am based in a major city in the US. I'm sitting in a diner on a Saturday morning eating breakfast and reading the news, Facebook, Reddit, etc., and somebody says my name. Oh my God. The voice sounded like one of my women friends at work, so I looked up to say hi and my jaw dropped. It's my ex-wife. Here I am 2,000 plus miles away from our old hometown, haven't seen her in almost 6 years, and there she is. I was dumbstruck. All I could manage was hi. I hate to say it, but she looked beautiful. She said I looked amazing. She asked if I was busy and that she didn't want to bother me, but that she'd love to talk. I said sure. We ended up talking for over 2 hours and continued for another couple of hours when we went for a walk in a close-by park. We were making small talk about mutual acquaintances, my stories of traveling the globe. Everything but the elephant in the room. She finally asks me if I had gotten remarried at any point. I said no, once was enough. She seemed sad by that. We walked in silence for maybe a minute and she said, I have to say that I'm so sorry for what I did to you. You didn't deserve it. It was incredibly shitty and has haunted me since it happened. You didn't do anything wrong. I said you fell in love with someone else and married them. I couldn't stop you from doing that. I wanted you to be happy. Then I asked, are you happy? She laughed one of those joke laughs, ha. She told me the OM and her fought constantly and he ended up cheating on her and leaving her 2 years into marriage. I said, I'm sorry that happened to you. I know how bad that can hurt. She said she knew. That when her heart was broken, all she could think of was that she had done the same thing to me and that tortured her. She said she fell apart for almost a year, engaged in very self-destructive behavior, and then went to therapy to figure out why she's so screwed up. She said that was extremely helpful, and several years ago she finally grew up and holds herself accountable for her own actions now. She had ended up moving to this city because she has an aunt that she loves that lives there, and after her second divorce before age 30 she needed to make big changes in her life. The changes were noticeable. She's definitely more mature. I had to go and get ready for the evening with friends, so we said our goodbyes. We exchanged contact info and agreed to go have coffee and talk more. We have been doing that. We're both single. I guess there's no harm. I can tell she wants more from me. She wants me to want her back. She drops hints as big as the Pacific Ocean. I'm not dumb. I have to admit she still has that certain something that just makes my heart skip a beat. Something I can't describe. Something I hadn't found in anyone else since her. I guess it's chemistry between us. To be honest, I want to be more than friends. I want to hold her and kiss her. She wants that too, but as of yet I've made 0 moves. What holds me back? Fear. I'm afraid of getting hurt again. If she had been a casual girlfriend that dumped me, I would have shook it off and moved on quickly. She wasn't though. She was my wife and the love of my life. I used to dream of her somehow coming back into my life. Well, here it is and I'm scared shitless. I don't know if I can give her that much of myself again. I'm way more protective of my heart now. We've both grown a lot and the past seems like 100 years ago. If she wasn't who she is, I'd already be head over heels in love. I struggle with, do I pursue love with her again or do I leave the past in the past? It sounds cliche, but it just had to be her. Of all the people I could have met here, it had to be her. Update. I've gotten so many requests for an update. I have one but was hesitant to post because in this sub I'd take a lot of grief. The update is we got remarried over the Christmas holidays and we're now pregnant. She has grown a lot as a person. So have I. We're not kids anymore. We're in an adult relationship and it's much better than before. Throw in the chemistry we've always had and it's wonderful. I couldn't be happier. I do want to address the accusations that she tracked me down. She didn't. She had moved to our current city before I did. She really had moved on, went to therapy, and had grown a lot as a person. I just happened to be in that diner. We think it had to be fate or some type of intervening force. Neither of us are religious, but the astronomical odds of us running into each other, both single and in a city neither of us had ever lived in, are hard to ignore. Obviously the universe had a plan for us. I wish all of you good luck. My only advice is don't close your heart. You never know who will stroll into your life. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, I'll be the one hopeful comment. I hope he legitimately forgave her and found peace before she got pregnant, but the person you are right after college is so different than who you are years later when you've lived in the real world. I do think it's possible they both have changed. Redditor follow-up, the one thing that gives me hope is that 7 years passed between it all. It's enough time to hopefully grow as a person. Redditor 2, oof. I mean, I believe that people can grow and change, but it's so hard to re-enter a relationship without falling back into old patterns, old resentments, old expectations, etc. You'd really have to be committed to starting over and taking it slow. But they were remarried and pregnant within 9 months, so Godspeed. Redditor 3, I had a cousin that did exactly this. She divorced a guy because he found out she was having an affair, married the guy she cheated with, got divorced within 2 years, remarried the first husband, and had a baby, actually 2, in quick succession. The first husband divorced her a second time within 2 years. He never remarried, but I still see him around and he's a good guy and a good dad. She has now been married 9 times, so to 8 different men. 9 times. Redditor 4, I'm gonna go against the grain here and say good for them. They were dumb and young and got married way too soon. She obviously wasn't mature enough to be married yet in the first place. And don't get me wrong, cheating is a 100% deal breaker for me in any relationship, and I wouldn't personally get back with a cheater no matter how much they have changed. But the op isn't me and his goalposts are different than mine. 6 years is a long time, especially after you've got your ass handed to you by life and made an effort to fix your asset. From the info op gave, it does sound like she grew up. And no doubt getting the exact same treatment from her cheating second husband was a harsh realization of what she did to the first. I believe people can change, but it takes some actual consequences for it to happen. She had that, she fell apart, she got therapy and grew as a person. I legitimately hope they lead a long happy life together and those mistakes stay in the past where they belong. Redditor 5, this has to be creative writing, because no one who travels for work would describe it so exuberantly. Redditor follow-up, this has to be creative writing. I'm not opposed to casual dating and have dated beautiful women all over the globe. Also lends a tad less credibility to the story. Redditor 6, I wish them the best of luck, but as they saying goes, fool me once. Redditor 7, I can somewhat relate. Had a long relationship with my college GF, I went to a different school afterwards for my master's, she didn't. We broke up for various reasons. We stayed distant friends, but she was adamant that we were not going to get back together. We both moved on, so we thought. Then we were at the rugby together 5 years later, nothing like a lot of cheap larger to help reassess life decisions. Needless to say, that was 12 years ago, been married 9, 2 kids, so far so good. In that time moved across the world twice, changed jobs, lost jobs, bought a house, etc. Plenty of stressful moment, but we've stuck it out. So I'm all for thinking the op has a chance. Redditor follow-up, needless to say, I do not think these words mean what you think they mean. Redditor 8, oh wow. I wish Oop all the best, but this certainly feels like a risky move. You only get one life, though, and I guess if this is really what he wants, then what the hell? At least if she lets him down again, He won't have those what if regrets, and he'll be able to move on with total certainty. If you enjoyed the video, please leave like, comment and subscribe to my channel. It really helps a lot.